What's up, everybody? So as I explained in my companion Poland video, I'm making two separate video guides for Poland. The reason why is because when you get the Jagiellon event, you get branching paths. First, you have the Bohemia path, where you go into the HRE, and you can expand into the HRE, of course, as much as the HRE will allow. And that's great and all. The thing is that with Lithuania, which is what most people in multiplayer games are going to do, or most people are going to want to play because they want to play a more historical game, you have different concerns. You have different priorities that you really should be aware of. So I wanted to make two separate videos so that you're aware going into whichever path you're choosing to go down. So this game, I'm going to take the Lithuanian personal union, no matter what stats they offer me with my guy. So as before, we have the estates and privileges, and just like before, we're not granting any crown land privileges, and we're keeping it just to the starting two privileges, supremacy over the crown, and the automatic one we're given, the golden liberty, because that way we can complete this mission with the better option, which will allow us, and I forgot to say this in the other video, you have the ability, if you complete it this way, to revoke privileges at will, so that once you get to absolutism, you can revoke everything, and it doesn't matter what their loyalty is. So we're going that path. Now that that has been set up, and I am, of course, still taking the Grant Orthodox Autonomy, because that will just prevent me from having rebel issues that I personally have to deal with at the start of the game. So let's talk about our military and our diplomacy. Now, as far as the military and the diplomacy, it's all pretty much the exact same setup as the other video. We're going to take these two armies, combine them together, send one guy over here because he doesn't fit in this army, hire the free company, hire two normal infantry units, and we'll merge them together. As far as the diplomacy itself, we're going to be trying to pick up Austria, though as you can see here, they do not like Burgundy, but they're just going to have to live with that. And of course, we're going to try and get the royal marriage. We're going to find somebody that they don't like. In this case, Bohemia will have to do. We'll scornfully insult them so we can pick up the royal marriage. And we're going to go over here, and it looks like they don't like... we'll go with England. Scornfully insult England, and then we're just going to simply wait a couple of days to get our diplomat back, and so we can pick up this alliance with Burgundy. Now, once we're able to, we'll start improving relations with Austria again, and pick up these two guys. It's all the same. It is all the same as it was before. The reason why is because you're still going to be going after Byzantium just so you can pick apart the Ottomans just that much easier. And of course, we have up here, fantastic, we got our crown land, didn't even have to pay anything for it. Throw these down now because I don't have to worry about them. And I'm pretty sure I explained this in the other video, but you throw any other seats that you have in this area because all of this is great land to develop. And if you're going to be dev pushing them anyway, you might as well get the extra 15% tax, 10% production, manpower, all of that. So it's just nice to have it. With that being done, I'm going to go ahead and get my diplomats back, pick up Brandenburg, pick up Saxony, and revoke my guarantee over here, and then start improving with Austria as soon as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go because it's going to take me a little bit. And there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. As I said, I'm going with the Jagiellon no matter what it gave me. And this kicks you into the Polish elective monarchy. The reason why this is important is because if you have the Polish elective monarchy, there is a disaster, though it does not tell you here, that will fire in the age of absolutism. The only way to stop it is to not have the Polish elective monarchy. As you can see, though, it will not let you change this reform. I will show you how to get out of this reform, so whether it's multiplayer or otherwise, you'll be fine. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and keep playing, and I'll show you guys what it is when I can get to it. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Oh, and I just want to point out, while Austria is very resistant to being your ally, the moment you pick up Lithuania, you become a great power and you become far stronger, and they're suddenly willing to ignore the fact that you're allied to Burgundy and they're allied to your rival Hungary. Just don't rival Hungary, it should be fine. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my rivals at this point. I'm going to go ahead, do you rival Bohemia? You did rival Bohemia, which means you should hate Bohemia. which means I should be able to attack Bohemia without them getting involved. Now, the moment I crack Bohemia enough where they're not a threat to Austria anymore, Austria will get involved and will stop me from destroying them any further. So I do need to take it slow, and I'm going to let Bohemia integrate these two vassals first. That way I can release these two vassals myself, as well as this one and this one here, because there's Moravia down here, and Lusatia, and then you have these two guys right here. So I'm going to go ahead and let Bohemia just be what they want to be for now. Instead, I'm going to focus on things to the south. So I'm going to go ahead and let this keep going, because it's still not quite ready for me to do anything with it, and I'll bring you guys back when it's time to talk some more. See you then. Welcome back, everybody. Quick update and some things I forgot to mention. First, I got Moldavia as a vassal, and I've attacked the Byzantines in a no-CB war because, again, they just allied the Serbians, and I didn't have a clearer path. And while I could attack Wallachia, they're allied to Bohemia, so they're on the back burner. Now, here's the thing. They changed the way strong duchies worked a long time ago, so if you're like me, you'll always forget that you can pick it up, even if you have one vassal in a personal union or two personal unions or whatever else. So the moment you have Lithuania, you can pick up strong duchies. You don't need to wait for Moldavia because you already have two vassals. Second off, be sure you focus on military power. You have a 4-4-1, so focusing it makes it effectively a 3-3-3, which means you shouldn't be falling behind. And you do have the economy, if you don't start taking massive losses, to allow you to hire some advisors that'll keep you from falling behind at all. So I'm going to go ahead and focus on dealing with the Byzantines, and thankfully, this time the Ottomans don't seem to hate me quite as much. That'll probably change the moment I stop recording because they'll suddenly want all of my land, but right now it's actually working in my favor, so I should be able to get far quicker access than normal. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. And welcome back, everybody. So as per the usual, I took money out of Serbia, and then I'm going to vassalize Byzantium, and I'm handing Athens over to Moldavia because I can't take Athens myself. If I could, I would take it and then hand it over to Byzantium, but I can't, so instead, Moldavia will have to do. Now that that's done, I'm able to go back in here. I can dev this twice. There we go. Allowing me to summon the diet, seize land, and move on. No, and I will figure out what I'm going to do here in a second, but I'm basically going to be getting ready to take on Wallachia and Bohemia. It looks like I am able to call in these two guys because they don't mind, and I should be able just to smack Bohemia for some money and fully conquer Wallachia. So I'm going to go ahead and deal with that in a second, but I will see you guys once I am done. Welcome back, everybody. So right now, I declared on Wallachia, and I was able to call in Austria, Brandenburg, and Saxony at the start of the war, and then after it was declared, Burgundy decided they don't like Bohemia, so they'll be more than willing to join in. So now we're all jumping these two, and here's the thing. Austria is in a war with me. So now, I can click this button, and now while everyone's fighting this, I'm fighting this. So that is what I'm going to be doing while everyone else is distracted. So I'm going to go ahead and take Hungary as a personal union. I'll see you in a bit. And welcome back, everybody. So it's time to piece this all out. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a humiliate on Bohemia. I'm going to take their money. I'm going to take their war reps. And let's see, I'm going to take... might as well break their alliance with Wallachia. It's not like it's going to matter. Once that's done, I'm going to wait until I can send them a scornful insult. That way I can actually get a little bit more opinion with Hungary. There we go. Scornful insult. That'll just boost the opinion of Hungary for half a second. Take a little bit of money out of their hands. And now I have a personal union with Hungary. And then lastly, full annex of Wallachia. And yes, people are going to not quite like what I've just done, but I really don't care. And once I can, I'm going to start improving with Hungary, and I'm probably going to have to support loyalists for now until I can get their opinion high enough. And basically, it's just a now I have to beat the clock to make sure I can actually do this in time. So I will bring you guys back, but there shouldn't really be any problems, because now I have Hungary. Oh, there we go. forgot that had liberty to desire in it, so Hungary should be loyal now, and I just have to get their opinion high. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going. I will see you guys in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. So I'm about to get Hungary loyal, allowing me to be, well, huge. But I realized the Ottomans, who were attacking Albania, finally got done with their war. They took out a big chunk of Serbia, they fought the Aragonese, but they now have no manpower. So me and Austria are going to have just tons of fun. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to wipe them out. And this actually breaks their alliance with Akyunlu too, so they'll probably be hit on this side soon. But we're going to go ahead and fight this. I'll see you guys in a little bit. And welcome back, everybody. So as you can see, the Ottomans are not doing good. So I'm going to go ahead and piece them out, taking all their money and all this land. And there we go. I didn't mean to do that one. But go ahead and throw that to Byzantium. And now the Ottomans are pretty much bricked, but I'll deal with them later. Hungary's still loyal, and I did pick up Prussia this time. And they only left one province that I'll have to go back in later for, which is better than they usually do. In either case, I'm now ready to start looking at other things, but for now I need to start consolidating and getting these vassals off the map because obviously they take up diplomatic relations slots. So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing that. I'll bring you guys back when it's time to talk a little bit more. See you guys then. And welcome back, everybody. And just like before, I have taken on Nicholas Copernicus and upgraded him to level 5. This is costing me money and putting me in debt, but Muscovy just finished off Novgorod, so it's time to use them like a bank. And my vassals should take care of this, but I am, of course, going to send up a guy just to keep an eye on things. Remember, it's Smolensk. But I'm going to go ahead and deal with Muscovy. I will see you guys in a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. So just like before, I'm taking just enough provinces to make it to Novgorod, because that'll stop them from forming Russia, taking as much money as I can, as well as war reparations. And with that, I'll walk away. I'm going to go ahead and send these guys back up here, and I'm going to take this stack and move them down south, because I have some rebels to go fight. And now I'm able to start annexing this guy, and I will move on to the Byzantines as well. This will slow me down and stop me from being able to fully integrate people and have my Diplo power keep going, but it is what it is. But with this, I'm now able to pay off my debt and really not really have many other problems moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going, because I'm still not quite to the point where I can show you how to avoid the disaster. But I'll see you guys soon. And it happened again, so it's time to go and deal with Austria, who is allied this time to Castile, which might be a problem because he's a rival. But that just means I need to find other people that would be willing to ally me and help me fight Austria, which probably is not going to be that big of a deal. Either way, I'm going to have to find people willing to ally, so I'm going to do exactly that because it's coming. He will eventually decide to attack me. And this time, since I'm not trying to get Hungary out of him, I have another alternative on how I deal with Austria. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will see you guys once it's time to actually fire this thing. See you then. And welcome back, everybody. So this war is over. Basically, it was just Austria and a couple of Bavarian states versus this. So yeah, they didn't really stand much of a chance. So I'm going to go ahead and piece them out, and I'm taking one province over here, one province over here. All their money, I'm going to annul their treaty with Castile, because I don't want to be dealing with Castile fights anymore. And yeah, that's all I'm really going to be doing at this point, because there's nothing else really worth taking. The reason why I'm taking these two states is because I'm going to be releasing Styria, and I'm going to be releasing Tyrol. And between these two, I have cores on all of this stuff over here, and on this one, it's all the other stuff over here. And if I take all of those states, the only thing Austria will have left are these 4 provinces. That's it. All I have to do is do that within the next 12 years because these cores are going to expire in 12 years. So that's all I need to do. And to make it easier on myself, I just need to find somebody that Austria will actually defend and reset my timer. So let's see here. Pomerania would probably be a good bet. Yep. He'll defend Pomerania, so I'll just drop a claim on Pomerania, use them as a target, because not like they really have anybody that's really going to be strong that I have to worry about. And I can use that as a way to attack Austria, just to reset my timer and punch a bunch of money out of them. In the meantime, though, I'm still working on getting Byzantium down, and I will be coming through here because I need to clear out these guys because they will stop me from being able to integrate them very quickly. And once I have Byzantium out of the way, I'll work on the rest of the Balkans. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going because I'm not quite ready to talk more, but I will see you guys when it's time to talk some more. See you then. And welcome back, everybody. So it's time to do the first step in how to get rid of that government reform. We're going to unstate some stuff because we need to shift over to become Prussian. The easiest way to do that is simply to unstate stuff that you have stated up. I know, it's kind of painful. But it is what it is. Once we have the ability to culturally shift over to Prussian, we will do so and then recore all this stuff up, and this is absolutely going to destroy our economy. But it shouldn't take that long for us to get to the 100-some-odd Diplo power. But that's all I'm going to be doing at this point. I'm just going to slowly shift over and keep everybody in line, because it looks like some people think that they're going to be able to get free. Either way, I'll bring you guys back once it's time to talk, but basically, at this point, we're trying to shift over to being Prussian as quickly as possible, because if we wait for later, it's going to be more expensive for us too. So for now, just get yourself moved over once you have the Prussian lands. See you guys soon. What's up, everybody? So it's time for another CD key to be given away, and this one is for The Pale Beyond. If you want a copy of this game, leave a comment below, and somewhere in the comment include the word pale. Try to make it all one word, because if you put spaces in there trying to be cute, I might not see it. Now, with that being said, at the end of the week, I'll pick one of those comments at random, and I'll reply to it with the CD key to the game for Steam. Now, obviously, since anybody can see my replies, if they see it before you do, they can take it, put it into their account, and now it's their game, not yours. So be sure you turn on your notifications. With that being said, let's get back to the guide. And apparently I need to kiss a horse. Moving on. And welcome back, everybody. So as you can see, Austria has been reduced to a rump state. And I'm about to go after the Ottomans. Once my guys are in place, I'm going to be attacking them. And I'm going to try and run across the strait as quickly as I can and take the other side. As long as I can do that and have a straight crossing, I really don't think the Ottomans are going to be able to stand much of a chance. Now, I will also point out that by sheer coincidence, I got a personal union with Bohemia. It was completely random. I was in the middle of a war against Russia, and it just kind of just happened. So I have no idea why that happened, but I got lucky. If that didn't happen, generally what I try and do is get it to the point where I'm able to pick up the other electors around, and then I just eliminate Austria. The reason why is if I have them as allies, I'm kind of the only huge Catholic player that's around. Given my sheer size, they're probably going to elect me. Doesn't always happen, but if it ends up being France, I then just go after France until they're eliminated, until eventually I'm elected, because that automatically makes you part of the HRE, so I can just start going after Bohemia and taking chunks out of them. Or I just destroy the HRE. One or the other. Because at this point, with this there, no one else can really get into the HRE except for Denmark, and I can take Denmark out pretty quickly if that becomes a problem. In this case, though, don't need to worry about that. Instead, I'm going to probably be working on just becoming the HRE, but I'm going after the Ottomans first. So I'm going to go ahead and deal with that. I'll see you in a little bit. And welcome back. So I have Bulgaria now fed, and I'm going to be working on integrating them, but I did want to talk about this mission right here. Now, all this requires is that you basically dev this area. These ones are a couple of times, and everything else is once, except for Kiev right here, which is 5 times, and then you have to build a church. And then once you've done that, you have this mission that you can complete. Now, if you go with the bottom option, you just get some temporary bonuses for development costs, which is not bad, but not great. But the top option makes them give you the land. Now, what happens is Lithuania will lose their core. You do not get a core. You actually have to core this stuff up just as if you had conquered it, which I know, oh so fun. I'm not doing that in this one because I don't need to. But if you are going to do this in a particular way, where you're going to try and get Ruthenian provinces, you're going to want to do this because it gives you all of these provinces. Again, you have to core them up fully, but it will be a lot of Ruthenian Orthodox provinces, and those two things can be very useful if you're going in a particular path. I am going in an alternative path where I'm going to be looking at Prussian. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going, and I'm going to bring you guys back when we can talk about all of this all at one time. So I'll see you soon. Welcome back, everybody. So it's time finally to talk about how to avoid this disaster. Specifically, this one based off of the Polish elective monarchy. You see, if you enter the age of absolutism and you either have the Polish elective monarchy or the elective monarchy and you are the Commonwealth or Poland, you will start into a disaster. And this disaster is just bunches and bunches and bunches and bunches of rebels everywhere trying to crack your country, because it's a fight over whether or not you're going to be an elective monarchy or an absolute monarchy. And obviously you would rather be an absolute monarchy, but you're going to have to fight just hundreds of thousands of rebels to get to that point in a very short time span. And while it's absolutely doable, if you're in a multiplayer game, or really if you're in a single player game and you just don't want to have to deal with it, getting rid of this government reform is critical. The easiest way to do that is simply to reform into something else. In this case, I'm choosing Prussia. Now, if you notice here, yeah, I am absolutely taking it, but when you flip to Prussia, it kicks you automatically into the Prussian monarchy. So it forces you to take a different Tier 1 government reform. Now, I don't have to worry about it. Now, I'm Prussia. I'm not Poland. I don't have the Polish anything. So if I come in here and then I flip back to Polish, which is going to take some doing, basically I'm able to then flip back to Poland. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I'm going to just end this run at this point. But I need to make myself now 50% Polish. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. I'll be right back. And welcome back, everybody. So now I am Polish again. As you can see right here, I'm 50% Polish, and it shifted me back into this culture group. Now if I come in here and I click this button, I'm going to no longer be Prussia. I'm going to flip back to Poland. And then I can even form the Commonwealth, where I just straight up inherit Lithuania, taking on their ideas as well. But I got to keep the Prussian monarchy. Now, if I don't want to deal with the reduction in governing capacity, which is really going to hurt, I can choose to simply swap out of this, just do not take elective monarchy. You can take the Great Schism, or however you pronounce this, and you'll be fine. But just do not take elective monarchy. And now that you've done that, once you hit 3 stability, you can revoke the Golden Liberty. And you're golden. You're done. You don't have to worry about it at all. There's going to be no disaster. You're now the Commonwealth. You are Prussian, given the fact you now have the ability to have 3 extra military skill in your monarchs. You have the ability to use your military points to bump up your discipline. And you are the Commonwealth, so you have Winged Hussars. So yeah, if you haven't played the Winged Hussars yet, they do a ton of damage. They are very, very dangerous. But now, basically, I have some of the strongest troops in the game. There's really no one else that can match me because I have this government type with this much development. Makes it very, very painful to fight me. Now, obviously, not everyone's going to want to flip Prussian to flip back to Commonwealth. There's a couple of other options you have available to you. First, if you do get the Burgundian inheritance and you're willing to wait for it, you can flip over to Dutch and use the Dutch culture to form the Netherlands. If you do that, obviously you're going to get the Dutch government reform in Tier 1, and you'll be able to keep going with that, and you'll be the Netherlands. If you choose to go Ruthenian, you can flip to Orthodox very, very easily because you have so much Orthodox over here. And then you can take a few key provinces. And if you recall, there was a mission in here, Develop Ruthenia, where these provinces become yours. Most of the provinces you need to form Ruthenia are in here, but you do need one of them up here. So you're going to have to wait until you integrate manually Lithuania. If you're willing to do that, you'll be able to form Ruthenia. It has its own government reform if you're Orthodox, allowing you to break out of the elective monarchy that way, and then you can form the Commonwealth if you want to. Or, since you're already Orthodox, you can flip Greek and become Byzantium. Though Byzantium will not break the Polish elective monarchy in my experience, it is still an alternative instead of forming the Commonwealth, to instead form Byzantium and push into the Anatolian region or wherever else you want to go. If you want to go into the north here or into Russia, the Commonwealth is perfectly fine, because the Commonwealth, towards the end of the mission tree at the very bottom, you will have an option down here where you'll get a restoration of union on Sweden, or basically whoever controls all the trade up here and development up here. So if Sweden doesn't break free, you'll get it on Denmark, and it'll give you all of Scandinavia when you do it. So you have a lot of really strong options towards the end. But that's how you get rid of the Polish elective monarchy. You're simply looking for formable tags that have a unique government reform, because most of them, and I do mean most, will shove you into that unique government reform so long as very specific requirements are met. Prussia, there really are no requirements. As long as you click the button, you'll get the Prussian monarchy. Now, Ruthenia, on the other hand, you can form Ruthenia and not be Orthodox. But to get the Tsardom government reform, you must be Orthodox. So for it to shove you into it and not maintain the Polish elective monarchy, you need to be Orthodox when you flip. So keep that in mind, but it's not a huge requirement. But there is one that does have a huge requirement, and that is Byzantium. And this is why I wanted to explain it. If you look at the wiki, Byzantium's requirements state that it will shove you into that government reform so long as your Tier 1 government reform is not locked. Now, if you look at Prussian monarchy, I can pick any of these other options at will. There's nothing stopping me from doing so, because it's unlocked. Ruthenia is unlocked. The French monarchy, if I remember correctly, is unlocked. And the English monarchy is locked, though you can make it unlocked. So if you're going to go Byzantium, do not do it straight from having the Polish elective monarchy. Because if you do, it is locked, and you will become Byzantium with the Polish elective monarchy, and you will still have the disaster, though you will not be Poland. So just keep that in mind, because it can absolutely shoot yourself in the foot. The last thing I want to point out is that, if you recall, when you form Prussia, one of the requirements is that there is no Prussia on the map. Period. There is now no Prussia on the map. So if you want to do this in multiplayer, form Prussia, flip back to Polish, form the Commonwealth, and you can give this land to whoever the Prussia player is going to be, and they can also be Prussia. You can have two people with the Prussian monarchy in the game. That is not exclusive. And that can absolutely be dangerous if you two are actually working together as Poland and Prussia, because you should not ever work together. But you two working together with this is really hard to beat. But with that being said, that's pretty much the guide. If you guys like this content, like